I think we need to think about sustainability in two ways. The first way is in terms of the sustainability of the method that we use, and we've made great strides in the last 30 years. The pace of change has been breathtaking, but there's still a lot of work to do in order to make sure that our specialty remains current. So we need to be agile, we need to evolve, we need to make sure that we're keeping up with the language, culture, expectations and needs of the students. So to be future-proof, we need to talk to them more. We need to find out more about what their needs are post-qualification and then map that back to what we're teaching them in the undergraduate years. And particularly for people like myself that have been doing this for a long time, I think we need to be aware that the population is rapidly diversifying, that language is changing, expectations are changing, and we really need to stay on top of that to be current. The second thing that sustainability means to me is some of the bigger stuff about the environment and the world we're in and our responsibility to take care of it just a little bit better. While I wouldn't want to lose the interactivity of face-to-face meetings and networking, I think COVID taught us something useful about the fact that we can have meetings without travel, we can reduce our footprint, we can think about different modes of exchanging information that don't involve paper as a very barn door example. As I said, I'm not an expert on this. And we can think when we're planning our resources, expanding our resources, simulation suites, buildings, we can make sure that we are liaising closely with the architects and stakeholders to make sure that we're delivering our education in a way that is actually respectful and appropriate for the next 30 years. I've been very privileged, I've been to many education conferences. One thing that I particularly love and value about this conference is that it brings people together that have different type of simulation backgrounds. So we've got the exhibitors with the models and the hybrids and the high fidelities, and we've got people here from all different disciplines that work with human simulation, simulated patients, colleagues, advocates and others. So one of the great things about ASPiH is it brings all that together, and I think that sort of shakes us up a little bit in terms of thinking about our own sector and reaching out to see what we could do to integrate rather than compete with other sectors. And there's tremendous opportunity in that. And if an opportunity like today, just throwing ideas out there, means that people are coming forward from the audience, which they are doing, to say, actually, I'd like to know more about that. I'm doing this, but not this. Can I speak to you later about that? Those networking opportunities here are doing exactly what you've just said. That's what makes it a great event.
Yeah, thanks. It was a series of 5 individuals that were giving the presentation for the Sustainability Forum, which is great because the keynote speaker from this morning was Connie, and she preached a lot about collaboration, communication, and engagement among different healthcare professionals. And with this, it was great to have everybody's different perspective that is able to be here. For myself, on behalf of Beaker Health, we were pitching a community education platform which enables all educators to kind of share the information seamlessly and then disseminate that not only here at the conference for all the attending members, but also outside, so you don't have to put all those air miles on, you don't have to have all that big, larger carbon footprint. And so in regards to the sustainability piece, we're able to actually push that forward by raising the benchmark globally, but also make sure that that education is disseminated and tracked and measured throughout for the educator as well as that presenter.
So, and what does sustainability mean to you, linked to healthcare simulation?
Yeah, and I got to take a lot of inspiration from the previous presenters here, where they keep going back to the youth or Gen Z that are today, and they're saying, what does it look like in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? And I think that the way we have been doing things maybe not be so sustainable. And so borrowing some from their ideas, it's more of how do you reduce, reuse, recycle, but also make sure that you're not leaving a larger footprint than you had before. And so that could be a multitude of ways of, riding a bike instead of driving a car. That could be taking a train instead of taking a plane. But within healthcare, I think that means, okay, be cognizant of what you're actually using and what's the learning outcome. It's not because you see someone else doing it that you need to do it. You need to be innovative and try to change the ways you're doing things if it's not scalable or able to be used for many people. And I think that with initiatives such as the sustainability session that we were just in, as well as the entire ethos of this whole conference, chooses and proves different ways that we can do things by looking outside the box and do it differently.
Yeah, it's been a really positive experience actually. it's been a chance for us to share what we're doing to try and be more sustainable in our workplace in London, but also to learn what other teams and groups of people across the country are doing to try and be more sustainable. And there's been a wide variety of experiences and approaches to do that. Certainly some that we're able to learn from ourselves, and so there's a lot that we're going to be able to take away for sure. It's amazing. There's so much here, especially we're in the exhibition room. There are so many different commercial partners and groups of people that we can see innovations in simulation, and that's amazing to see. But also, it's clearly a place where we can come together and share ideas, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of that for sure.
Well, I'm going to introduce the concept of human factors as a science and a profession, and how associated principles, methods, concepts, practices can be integrated seamlessly into healthcare simulation to both optimise the performance of people, which is obviously a significant goal of healthcare simulation, but also their well-being. It's funny you should ask, because human factors as a science and as a practice is heavily involved in what we call climate ergonomics, so sustainability in other words. And so we take very much a systems perspective on that, a design perspective, so we can look more holistically about what it is we have in terms of regulations, what we have in terms of technologies, how we design workplaces, how we deal with the efficiency, productivity, the elimination of waste, and so on and so forth. So human factors as a science has many theories and methods that are extremely well suited to the sustainability agenda.